Morning. Well, afternoon. How are we doing today? So today, another shot of coffee. This is I'm calling it a 1907 Eveready. They built them 1904 to 1910. It looked a lot like this, so I don't know precisely how to date it. It's got the little short wood handle on it, and it's different from the 1913, which this is one of the last of the models that a lot of the catchers they built. It doesn't have the E and the R in the head, and it's got a more ornate scroll work and stuff on the back. Anyway, so we're going to get a blade in. Reading glasses are a must on these things. When you put the blade in, I don't know if I've showed this before, you have to be really particular about lining up the blade so that it's under the springs and behind the blade stops. And then you have the tab in the back that folds over. And if you'll notice, if I can show it here, it's actually over the tab here after I did that. So make sure that when you get it in there, that everything is good and tight, and that the blade is in the stops, and that it doesn't have any blade hanging over the edges, because it'll slide to the side, it'll hang over the edges, and then you end up with something like this or something like this. And don't ask how I know that, I'll lie to you. So that blade looks like it's in there good, and it's in there solid, all holes in there. Remember, these were actually made for wedge blades, but they work very, very well. I mean, you know, shaving one of these old things is just great. You know, it's more fun than just a bucket full of rubber toad frogs. It just really is. Alrighty, so on to the shave. Williams today. This is the modern stuff, and a lot of times I like to use a really big bore brush, but today I'm going to do something a little different. This is an Eveready 104. It hasn't been reknotted or anything. That's the original bore knot, and it's a favorite of the smaller bores that I have. I have a couple. This is one of the favorites. Matter of fact, it's been knocked off the counter and banged around, and I've glued the little plastic back over the, I guess it's got some kind of a hard rubber center in the handle. I don't know, I'm not a scientist, chemist, but I've glued it back together several times. It's got a whopping big crack in the top of the handle, but it still holds the knot tight, and that's all that we care about. So another thing is today that I'm not doing any prep. I haven't taken a shower yet. I haven't put a hot rag on my face. Matter of fact, I just woke up a few minutes ago. You can probably tell. I don't get moving until after a couple of cups of coffee, and this is my first one I'm working on, but it's a work day, what can I say? So prep, I used to preach loud and long as being essential, and I just don't think so anymore. It's good as part of a routine. It's good to have a routine. I think one of the great things about wet shaving, the traditional wet shaving here, is the routine. That's what a lot of people, myself included, love the most. A lot of people like a lot of things. That's one of the ones I like. So, get us a little powder going. This little brush looks pretty good once it gets going. So, it's right for the face. Just on the principle, because I'm doing an absolute no prep shave, I didn't even wipe my face off with a hot rag. A lot of times I would do that to get, you know, any extra oils and stuff off, but we're not doing that today. Deal with it. This little brush always does good. I like it. Give it a little soak in some warm water, and it's generally ready to go. Alright, so we're going to check one more time on our blade alignment. This little razor here, for some reason, seems to be really, you really got to watch the blade on it.
Some of my others aren't as bad. The 1910s, the Jim Jr. bars that actually have the bar that comes down over it here, they're like a lot easier. But boy, these old things sure do shape good. The little short handle, a lot of people don't like, or say they don't think they like, or won't like. But I can't find where it really hurts anything at all to have the little handle. It's maneuverable. It's not hard to find the angle on the blade. Well, can you hear that? This thing is nice. Way down that big old chin there. There we go. First pass. Not so bad. It's just on a regular old day's growth. Wiped off. Pour soap here. Another round. Oh boy. So here we go again. Come back at a little angle, a little across the grain this time. Try not to knock the top off that one. Chin here at an angle. And there. Let's see if we can get out of here. There, this side, let's get out of the camera. Yeah. I kind of knocked the top off that of it, but it ain't bad. Story behind that one. Not really a story, but what had happened was I don't always put my reading glasses on. And I am firmly in the over 40, almost 50 club. And we need reading glasses a lot of times to see up close. And I did it all by, oh, I got this. I got it all right. I got a little scratch. Alrighty. 2-pass shave. Things going good. So we'll get the got 3 thoughts going at one time. It generally doesn't work so good. Get a little witch hazel going here. And again, all my videos, I will tell you, this is how I do it. You may do it differently. A lot of people do a lot of things. I use just regular, generic, $1.50, whatever a bottle, drugstore, dollar store, witch hazel. You want to use the Dickinson's or the Thayer's, which is the alcohol free, I think. Feel free to. I don't think it works any better. It costs more, and I'm cheap. Trust me on this one. Alrighty, well looky there. After a little touch up, only a drop or two, a little bit of a weeper there I caused from knocking the top off an old store, or an old scratch. We'll call it a scratch. And everything's cleaned up. So the 1907-ish with the short wood handle. That's a 3-day-old Powell, I believe, blade. I love Powell carbon blades. Remember, if you use the carbon blades, when you get through with your shave, dry them off so they don't rust. And a little tease for another video. This is a 1910 Junior bar, Jim Jr. bar. And it has a custom
handmade, I should say, handle. Jayara made that. He's the same one that made a couple of my shade brush handles. You may remember the 137 that we used for a while, the synthetic there with the Ace synthetic. So this will be another video one day of the large wood handle, and we'll get around to that. So there we go. Sunday afternoon for work, 1907, ever ready. Good cup of coffee, Cafe Bustelo if you're interested. And you know, gotta have a bucket of frogs. If you don't have a bucket of frogs, well, you know, I don't know what I can do for you. Williams Ever-Ready 104 brush. You don't have to have a big bore brush. You don't have to have a bore brush, but you don't have to have a big bore brush to have fun with Williams. Modern stuff, does great. It's a great deal. And today, Special Reserve. Really, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that. I used the badge yesterday, so today is a Special Reserve for Sunday. Thank you. Have a good one.